ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's empowering session, where we will be diving into an incredibly transformative truth, something that could change the way you see yourself and your relationships with others. You were not meant to beg, you were meant to be chosen. Let me ask you, have you ever found yourself in a position where you felt like you had to chase after someone to prove your worth, to earn their approval, or to beg for their love? Maybe it was in a romantic relationship, a friendship, or even in your professional life. Perhaps you've tried to convince people of your value, endlessly seeking their validation in hopes of feeling worthy, in hopes of finding fulfillment. But what if I told you that you've been going about it all wrong? This constant chasing, the need to earn respect, the idea that we have to prove our worth time and time again, is a false narrative. Society has ingrained in us the belief that we have to work hard for everything, that we must hustle for love, recognition, or success. But I'm here to tell you today, you are already worthy. And the right people and opportunities will come to you when you stop begging for them. Think about it for a moment. When we beg for attention, approval, or love, we give away our power. We put ourselves in a position of desperation, always seeking someone else's validation to feel whole. But here's the truth. You are whole right now. You are enough, just as you are. You were never meant to chase, never meant to beg. You were meant to be chosen by those who truly see your value, by those who align with who you are at your core. When you understand this, everything changes. No longer will you feel the need to lower your standards or shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations. Instead, you will learn to stand firm in your own worth and walk through life with your head held high, knowing that those who are truly meant for you will choose you. I know this can be a difficult concept to embrace. The world tells us that we must constantly prove ourselves, that we are only as good as the attention we can garner from others. But when you realize your true worth, when you truly understand that you are enough simply because you exist, you stop chasing after things that aren't meant for you. Instead of running after people, approval, or opportunities, you learn to stand still and allow the right things to come into your life. You see, we often chase after things, be it love, success, or recognition, because we've been conditioned to believe that they will complete us. We believe that if we just keep working hard enough or begging long enough, we'll finally get the love, the respect, the success we desire. But this never-ending pursuit only leads to exhaustion, frustration, and ultimately feelings of inadequacy. When we chase things that aren't aligned with who we truly are, we lose sight of our own value. So today, I'm going to guide you through a transformative shift in mindset. Stop begging and start being chosen. It's about recognizing that your worth is not dependent on anyone else's approval. It's about realizing that you are already deserving of everything you desire and more. The right people will see you, recognize you, and choose you without you having to prove your worth. We're going to break down how to stop chasing after what doesn't align with you, how to set boundaries that attract the right energy, and how to create a life where you are chosen by the people who value you for exactly who you are. This is not just about relationships, it's about your relationship with yourself. It's about standing in your truth, owning your worth, and never settling for less than you deserve. Remember, you are not meant to beg, you are meant to be chosen. Let's dive in and uncover how to embrace this powerful truth and take back control of your life. Understanding your worth. Welcome to today's video, where we're diving into a powerful truth. You're not meant to beg, you're meant to be chosen. Have you ever found yourself desperately chasing after someone's attention, affection, or approval? Whether it's trying to gain love from a partner, seeking validation from your peers, or striving for recognition in your professional life, we've all been there at some point. We put ourselves in situations where we beg for something that we believe will bring us fulfillment, only to realize that it's never quite enough. But here's the reality. You were never meant to beg for anything. In a world that often pushes us to seek validation and approval from others, we tend to forget the most important thing. You are already worthy. You are not defined by how much others value you or by how hard you have to work to earn their attention. Your worth is innate, and it is not something that can be earned by begging for it. The key is to realize that you are meant to be chosen, not to chase after people or things that don't align with who you truly are. Think about it. When you're begging for love, attention, or respect, you're putting yourself in a position of powerlessness. You're depending on others to validate your existence. But true power comes from understanding that you are deserving of these things simply because you exist, not because you've had to prove yourself. The act of begging implies that you have to prove your value over and over again, when in reality, your value should never be in question. Let me ask you, why do we beg for approval? Why do we lower our standards in an attempt to make someone notice us, love us, or appreciate us? The answer lies in the mistaken belief that we aren't enough as we are. We're conditioned to think that we need to change ourselves, shrink ourselves, or compromise on our self-worth to fit into someone else's expectations. But that's not the way it works. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences are going to come to you when you stop begging for them and start embodying the truth of who you are. You are not someone's second choice, their afterthought, or their backup plan. The universe didn't create you to be in the background of someone else's life. You were created to stand in your own power, to live with purpose, and to attract people and experiences that align with the amazing person you already are. You are meant to be chosen by those who truly see you, not by those who make you feel like you're not enough. So why do we keep begging for things that aren't meant for us? It's because we've been taught to believe that our value is dependent on external factors, whether it's someone's affection, recognition, or success. But that's simply not true. When you begin to recognize your inherent worth, you stop begging for things. Instead, you position yourself to attract the right people, opportunities, and outcomes without ever having to force them into your life. In the next part of this video, we'll dive deeper into how to stop begging for validation, how to set boundaries, and how to create a life where you are chosen by those who truly see your worth. Remember, you're not meant to beg, you are meant to be chosen. And that starts with understanding just how worthy you already are. Stop chasing what doesn't align with you. In this part, we're going to explore one of the most critical aspects of realizing your worth. Stop chasing what doesn't align with you. When we talk about being chosen, we're not just talking about waiting around for someone or something to come into your life. We're talking about recognizing that you deserve the right things, people, opportunities, relationships that truly resonate with who you are and what you want. Too often, we find ourselves chasing after things that aren't in alignment with our core values, our true purpose, or the life we envision for ourselves. We pursue relationships with people who don't treat us with the respect and love we deserve. We chase after careers or goals that don't truly fulfill us. We compromise our needs, desires, and happiness just to hold on to something that was never meant for us in the first place. And why do we do this? We do it because we've been taught that we need to hustle for everything. Society has drilled it into our heads that success, love, and recognition must be earned through struggle, compromise, and relentless effort. So, we end up running after things that are not aligned with who we truly are, thinking that if we work hard enough, we can make them fit into our lives. But here's the truth. You can't force something into your life that doesn't belong there. And you shouldn't have to chase after what isn't right for you. When you're constantly chasing after things that aren't in alignment with your true self, you're wasting precious time and energy. You're allowing your life to be dictated by external factors that have no place in your journey, and ultimately, this only leads to disappointment, burnout, and feelings of inadequacy. The more you chase after things that don't belong to you, the more you forget who you are and what you truly need. It's time to stop wasting energy on things that are not meant for you. Stop chasing after people who don't see your worth. Stop pursuing careers or goals that don't truly excite or fulfill you. Stop trying to fit into places and spaces that make you feel small or unimportant. You are worthy of more than that. Instead of chasing, focus on attracting. When you stop desperately seeking out approval or validation, when you stop bending over backward to earn something that's never going to align with you, you create space for the right things to come into your life. You start to magnetize the people, opportunities, and experiences that are truly meant for you. Think about it. When you stop chasing, you begin to stand in your power. You begin to walk through life with your head held high, knowing that the right people and opportunities will come to you because you are aligned with them. You're not forcing anything. Instead, you are simply being your authentic self and letting the right things come to you. You have to trust the process. Trust that when you stop chasing what is meant for you, you are making room for what is. The universe, life, and the people around you will meet you halfway. When you stop devaluing yourself by chasing things that are not in alignment with your worth. In the next part, we'll dive into how to set the standards that attract the right things into your life. You're not meant to beg. You're meant to be chosen by those who truly understand and appreciate the real you. Set boundaries and demand respect. And as we continue to understand why you're not meant to beg, but rather to be chosen, one crucial aspect of this process is learning how to set healthy boundaries and demand respect from the people and situations around you. Boundaries are not just lines in the sand. They are a reflection of your self-worth, your values, and your commitment to yourself. Think about it. How often have you found yourself in situations where you are treated less than you deserve? How many times have you let people walk all over you or dismiss your needs and desires? This happens when we fail to set boundaries. When we don't set clear limits, we send the message to others that we are okay with being treated poorly, that we're okay with accepting less than we deserve. But the truth is, you deserve respect, love, and understanding. Boundaries are your way of telling the world that you are not going to beg for anything. You're not going to beg for someone's time or affection. You're not going to beg for respect. You're not going to beg for a seat at the table. You are worthy of all these things simply because you exist, not because you have to constantly prove your worthiness. When you set boundaries, you're teaching others how to treat you. You're telling them, this is who I am, and if you want to be part of my life, you must respect me for who I am. Boundaries create a healthy space where you can thrive, where you can be your true self without fear of judgment or exploitation. They protect your peace and your energy, and they ensure that the people in your life are there for the right reasons, not just to take from you, but to contribute to your growth, happiness, and well-being. You must understand that boundaries are not about being harsh or unkind. They are about self-respect and self-care. Setting boundaries allows you to protect your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. It's not about pushing people away. It's about inviting the right people into your life who will respect and honor who you are. A critical part of setting boundaries is understanding that you do not need to beg anyone to choose you. When you establish boundaries, you stop chasing people or situations that don't value you. You stop begging for a seat at the table. You stop pleading for attention, affection, or approval. Instead, you hold your ground, knowing that those who truly understand your worth will naturally gravitate toward you. When you stop begging and start demanding respect, you show others that you have a high standard for how you expect to be treated. You teach them that you will not settle for less and you will not tolerate disrespect. You make it clear that you are the one who gets to decide who is worthy of your time, energy, and love. When you do this, you stop feeling like you have to fight for someone's attention or affection. You stop feeling like you have to prove that you deserve a spot in their life. You are chosen because you set the standard and the right people recognize that. In the next part, we'll talk about how to recognize and embrace those who truly see your worth and how to let go of those who don't. Embrace your worth and let go of the struggle. In the final part of this journey, let's dive into the most important step of all: embracing your worth and letting go of the struggle. This is the moment when you fully understand that you don't need to beg for anyone's love, approval, or attention. Instead, you deserve to be chosen simply because of who you are. For so long, we've been taught to fight for things, to hustle, to chase what we want, and while there's value in pursuing our goals and working hard for what we desire, there's also an important lesson in letting go of the unnecessary struggle. When you chase after something or someone who isn't meant for you, you're only exhausting your energy and spirit. This constant chase creates a pattern of feeling like you're never enough, always trying to prove your worth, but you are enough exactly as you are. When you stop begging and chasing, you open yourself up to the reality that the right people, opportunities, and blessings will find you. The key to attracting what you truly deserve is to stop fighting for things that don't align with your higher purpose. You are not meant to be in situations or relationships where you have to prove your worth over and over again. You are meant to be in spaces where you're recognized, valued, and chosen without a struggle. But the truth is, you should never have to beg anyone to stay in your life, to love you, or to appreciate you. You should never have to convince someone to choose you. If you have to beg for respect, love, or attention, then those things aren't truly yours to begin with. The people and opportunities that are meant for you will recognize your worth without you having to prove anything. And this doesn't mean you should lower your standards or settle for less. It means you're shifting your focus from trying to convince others to see your value to recognizing your value yourself. As you begin to embrace your worth, you'll find that the struggle you've been carrying begins to lift. The energy you once spent on begging for validation and acceptance can now be redirected toward becoming the best version of yourself. This shift will attract those who see you, not just for what you can give them, but for who you are, authentically and unapologetically. This is the moment where you stop measuring your worth by the opinions of others. You stop seeking validation from people who may never see you for who you truly are. Instead, you turn inward and recognize your value from within. You realize that you are worthy of love, success, and happiness, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. It's time to let go of the struggle, to stop fighting for people and things that aren't aligned with your highest good. When you stop fighting, you create the space for what's meant to be in your life. And what's meant to be will flow naturally toward you. In conclusion, you are not meant to beg, you are meant to stand in your truth, embrace your worth, and allow the right people and opportunities to choose you. You don't need to prove your value, it's already evident in the way you carry yourself, the energy you bring, and the boundaries you set. The world will recognize you for who you are and what you have to offer, and those who are meant to be part of your life will choose you, not because you begged them, but because they see your worth. And that, my friend, is the most powerful position you can stand in. As we come to the end of this powerful session, I want you to take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed today. You were never meant to beg for love, validation, or recognition. You were meant to be chosen, not by people who don't see your worth, but by those who recognize the incredible value you bring to the table. You've learned that when you stop chasing after things that aren't aligned with your true self, you create space for what is meant for you. By setting boundaries, demanding respect, and embracing your inherent worth, you stop allowing others to dictate your value. Instead, you take control of your own life, knowing that you deserve the very best simply because of who you are. Remember this. The right people, opportunities, and experiences will always find their way to you when you stop chasing after things that don't serve you. Your life will become a reflection of the respect, love, and success you choose to surround yourself with. Not because you begged for them, but because you stood strong in your truth and allowed what's meant for you to come to you effortlessly. It's time to stop fighting for attention and start being recognized for the amazing person you are. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You don't need to convince anyone that you deserve love or success. You are already worthy. And when you embrace this truth, everything else will follow. So from this moment forward, commit to standing in your power. Stop begging for what's not meant for you and start allowing yourself to be chosen by those who see you for the incredible person you are. Walk with confidence and trust that the right things will come to you at the right time. Remember, you were never meant to beg, you were meant to be chosen. And when you truly realize this, your life will transform in ways you never thought possible. Thank you for joining me today. Embrace your worth, set your boundaries, and remember, you are enough just as you are.